Okay, Paul. Well, the unthinkable happened. We got the news. If you're just waking up today, Facebook has. I mean, Paul, is this a crash? 26%. The stock is plummeted yesterday after earnings. They hit some numbers. They didn't do so well on others. We'll go over all of it. A lot of you are asking for our thoughts on this, Paul. People are attacking almost all of our videos with comments because it's funny, Paul. For 3 years, we told everyone out there that stocks were too overpriced. Then Facebook somewhat got into our wheelhouse, and then it drops 25%. And now some people are kind of blaming us or something because this is one of our we liked this stock. You don't own this stock, do you, Paul? What are your thoughts on it?
I will own it soon. I sold puts on it. I did tell people in other videos that I'm a buyer of Facebook under 300. It is currently 239. I'm a buyer of Facebook at this price. I wrote more puts today to get more shares at lower prices. So the thing everybody's got to remember, the difference between hypesters and us is when a stock goes down and we remove all the noise, we still like the stock. So I look at Facebook, and here are the main things I took away. They still have 1.95 billion active daily users. Guys, that's one in every 3.5 people in the world. You got to remember, like, what are people in like very poor areas? Are they on Facebook? No. 2, I believe I read last year their metaverse and Oculus lost $10 billion. So they still made $40 billion last year after losing $10 billion. Once that becomes a profitable venture or even breaks even, that's adding $10 billion to the bottom line. Assign 15 times multiple to that, and it's a $150 billion business. Just 15 times breaking even. Okay. Did I say it was going to go down to 300 and go right? No, guys, that's what value investing is. It'll probably go lower than 240. The point is we don't know where it's going to go. I know I'm a buyer of Facebook at 239. So I'm going to buy shares at 239, just like Alibaba, just like Intel, and these are long-term plays. If you think that you should buy a stock and it go up the very next day, please turn off YouTube, stop following us, unsubscribe. You are stupid. You just can't do that. You just cannot do that. The difference with us and everybody else is when we see a stock fall, we go, okay, take away the noise. This company still had amazing earnings, amazing profit. Yes, did they guide lower? They did guide lower. And I'm fine with that because I made my assumptions based on a much lower growth rate than other people would have done. That's it. I'm fine with this. And it's funny, Mo and I are laughing this morning going like, oh, great. My basis is going to be 270 or so on Facebook on February 18th when I get assigned my shares. Okay. So I'm down already. Doesn't faze me one bit. Does not faze me one bit.
When we do our stock analyzer tool, people complain that you're a little too conservative in your numbers, but this allows for a little bit of downside risk. So I always laugh, the people in our just the people that work on our show, 5 or 6 of us, are in love this morning. A lot of people are freaking out about Facebook. We're in love with this because when it goes lower, we know we loved it above this price at times, with our stock analyzer tool. And so, the funny part is I find, Paul's, I don't know what these same people say on other YouTube channels because when other people are wrong, they just delete videos and hide comments like they never even said it. But we stand by this. We liked Facebook. The numbers that are ingrained in our head allow us we want to be part business owners in this company because we see its future. And frankly, it's cheap, right? Find that great company and wait for it to cheap. Is this the day, Paul? I mean, you're saying it is.
I'm saying that. I'm not saying it is. All I'm saying is I like the stock at this price. I don't have a full position on it, so I'm going to buy more of it. Because usually I look at it going, so great. They made $40 billion last year, but their guidance is bad, so therefore a quarter of the value of the company goes away. Think about that for a second. A quarter of the value of the company went away in one day. Look here. July 2018, it fell from 220 down to 177, then fell to 125. Okay, I'm looking at going, the hypesters out there would have said this stock is dead right here. Okay, that's fine. I'm here to build a position in a business that's generating good cash flow. And let's look at the 8 pillars here. Look at this. This is a company that still has a lot of growth potential in terms of profit. It's an advertising business. Now, granted, the biggest criticism is they didn't have stellar results like Google does, and Apple's new rules on advertising are really going to hurt them. Yes, it probably will. But that's why when I do my stock analyzer tool, I didn't factor in 40% revenue growth. When I was told I was too conservative putting 10% in, I'm fine with that. That's the whole point here. I look at these 8 pillars and going, this is the company I want to own. Look at the balance sheet. They have $75 billion in cash on their books. Their total liabilities are $36 billion. They ain't going under, kids. They ain't going under. The income statement, not including, they had $40 billion in profit, not including last quarter, like not adjusting for last quarter. Cash flow statement, $36 billion in free cash flow. Now, granted, this doesn't update. Nobody's updated their numbers yet because they just announced the earnings 10 hours ago. So it's 15 hours ago. So it's going to take some time to update in our books. But look at this going, okay, this is the overreaction. I'm okay with overreaction. This doesn't even, like, literally, I don't go, oh my God, I just sit there and go, okay, am I wrong on Facebook? Well, I'll still, by the way, I could be wrong, but the data I've seen so far does not make me feel like I'm wrong yet. Does that mean it won't happen? No, of course. Of course it could still happen where I'm like, oh shoot, I'm wrong. But as of right now, I'm fine with the company being this way. And I'm going to continue to acquire shares and probably get a 3% position in the company as my portfolio. And I think over a long period of time, it'll do pretty well. If I had 100 companies that had this criteria, I would do very well.
Yeah, I like the concept of the metrics that are ingrained in your head as a value investor and all your experiences over the last 20 years are telling you this is a buy. So regardless of the company name, these numbers would point you in the buying direction. The same with Alibaba, right? And we will miss 6 out of 10 times. We'll most likely miss, right, Paul? But in essence, when you do hit, that's when you make it big. And this is the clear definition of all the most famous value investors who've ever made it big. This is basically their process. So for those people out there holding Facebook stock, how do you pull them off the ledge?
Listen, it's tough when you see your value drop 25% in one day. I get it. It's tough. It is tough. And I'm fortunate because I have a short on the NASDAQ. And so today I'm up a lot, even with my Facebook being down so much. My puts are down 1,400%. Okay. It doesn't even faze me, but I'm programmed differently. I've programmed myself over years to react differently than I used to 15 years ago. This would have gotten me in bed crying 15, 20 years ago. Now I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say besides follow along the channel and learn that process.
Instead, you're just in bed crying the season finale of Cheer, like me, Paul, you know.
Which when you first asked me about Cheer last night, I thought you meant Cheers with Ted Danson. I was like, I've never seen Cheers.
This show's even better. Okay, here you go, Paul. Let's show them the stock analyzer tool.
All right, guys, stock analyzer tool. 10-year analysis, 10% revenue growth, 12.5%, 15. I think profit margin, because they lost $10 billion last year. Let me make sure, let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. FB stock news. So there's an article out there. Let's see. FB Meta loss. There's like a, I saw it where it said something like, look at this. The metaverse business lost more than $10 billion last year. $10 billion. Everybody talks about how the meta is the future. Do you think this is going to continue to lose $10 billion a year? It's an investment in the future. I look at it going, yeah. 2019, 4.5 billion. 2020, 6.2, and it's growing. So people sit there and say, this is bad. It's bad. Yeah, it is bad. It is bad, but if they're growing for the future and we believe the meta is the future, then what are we worried about? So anyways, profit margin. I'm going to go 32, 34, and 36 because hopefully they turn around meta. Free cash flow, 31, 32, 33. PE, 13, actually 14, 16, 18, 14, 16, 18, and 12.5% return, guys. Analyze. This is why I'm a buyer of Facebook.
Explain the numbers.
Guys, this assumes on the low end 10% revenue growth a year for the next 10 years. It assumes 32% profit margin. When Meta lost $10 billion of that. So look at it this way. They lost $10 billion last year on Meta, right? What was their revenue last year? Their revenue last year was 110 billion. That would add 10% to their, if they just break even, it would add 10% to their profit margin. I still factored in only 32%. Doesn't mean they're not going to have other losses, but remember, this is a company that's investing in the future. And at the end of the day, they still own Instagram, they still own WhatsApp, and they still own Facebook. All in all, they have 3 billion users, I think, and 1.95 billion active monthly users. People are like, oh, they stopped growing. Well, yeah, they have 1 in every 3 people in the world using their platforms. Like, how do you grow from that? How do you grow? It shouldn't be shocking everybody that it's hard to grow when you have 1 in 3.5 people in the world using your stuff. So I'm okay with this. 12.5% return. Okay, I'm good. I'm Gucci Mane. And I just look at this going, okay, I'm a buyer. This is what I want. I want to find my low assumptions, and I want to sit there. And 10% revenue growth for 10 years, let's see what that means. They only do $282 billion in revenue in 10 years when they're doing 110 last year. If Meta is the future, you're telling me that they're only going to go 2.8 times their revenue in the next 2 points. No, I don't think so. 180% jump over there. No, sorry. Not going to happen.
Just to get it on the books, Paul, when Facebook falls from, what 245 today, when it falls to 160, what will be your stance then? Just to get on the books, so when people try and steal this video 6 months from now, you can double down on your thoughts on this company.
Unless there's some major news change that makes me go, oh, shoot, this came out. Crap. I'm going to be a buyer of Facebook. Remember, guys, the difference between me and everybody else is I don't need the stock price to go up for me to feel happy, because I know eventually the fundamentals will drive the stock price, right? Eventually that's going to happen. So if it falls to 160 and I'm still going to sit there and say, okay, I'm going to talk to Gary. I'm going to talk to other investors and say, guys, what am I missing on Facebook? And they might be like, Paul, I don't think you're missing anything. It's the market thinks it's a crappy stock. Okay. Now, could I be missing something? Absolutely. Something might come out a month from now where we go, oh, crap. Oh, crap. I did not know this. And I will change my track. But in the meantime, I haven't heard anything yet. In all the news and all the negative news out there, I haven't heard anything yet that makes me go, oh, crap. I just go, okay. If anything, I didn't realize Meta lost $10 billion last year. That's a lot of money.
If you're interested, if you're drawn to this style of investing, folks, you want these numbers, Paul, show them the software and how they can get it. Everything you've seen in this video, you can have on your phone right now. Paul, tell them how.
Guys, mobile phone, everything's on there. We created the software because our users and video watchers were like, hey, we want to be able to analyze stocks without waiting for you to make a video. So we spent hundreds of thousands. We put 4 or 5 developers on it. We've made the software. It's getting better every single month. Everything that is right here is you'll get 8 pillars, retirement calculator, stock analyzer tool, 8-pillar portfolio, exclusive video content. Every single day we post videos from Seth, Mo, and I exclusively just for the people who subscribe to our software. Yeah! And then everything that's coming here soon will be included. No extra charge to you. The best part is there are 6,000 people who use our software, over 6,000 people. You get to be able to chat with them in our community up here at the right and talk to them about all your investment ideas, because a lot of them felt alone in the world of investing. Their friends didn't agree with them on how to invest. Now you can talk about everything you want to talk about in our chat exclusively. All of this available for only $1 per day. Less than a cup of coffee. $1 per day. You get all of this. 2 ways to sign up. Everythingmoney.com or Patreon. The benefit to everythingmoney.com is you don't pay sales tax yet because we're not big enough. Guys, if this saves you, if this makes you an extra 1 or 2% a year, or saves you 1 or 2% of your losses every year, this will lead to hundreds of thousands of dollars and actually probably millions of dollars in extra net worth. This is a no-brainer, $1 per day. And when you sign up, whatever price you sign up at, you're locked into that level forever. So as the price goes, if 2 years from now, the new subscribers are $80 a month, you're still paying your whatever level you're at.
Yeah, shout out to those in the Bidnass Nation, our trading tier of our community. They are on fire today. The day trading app is awesome. I'm sure you guys are going to grab Facebook, Paul. It's heading into the sweet spot here in a little bit. So it's rebounding a smidge. We will keep you posted on Facebook and our positions on it. And we appreciate your support. Keep watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Fondle that thumbs up on the way out. I love you guys. See you. See you, Paul.
Bye.